Alicia here with another lightened up Weight Watcher friendly recipe, and today I am up early. It is still dark outside. I'm getting ready to throw together my Crock-Pot beef stroganoff. I love the Crock-Pot meals, especially this time of year when it's cold out and smelling it cook all day long. It's a nice cozy feeling. But anyway, back to my stroganoff here. I love stroganoff and I do it several different ways. This is just kind of my lightened up Crock-Pot version of it. So I wanted to show it to you guys because it's very, very easy, but absolutely delicious, and I think very family friendly too. So let me jump in real quick and I'll show you what you're gonna need to make this. So first off here, I've got 2 pounds or 32 ounces of trimmed top round steak. That is a little tougher meat, but it works great in the crock pot because again, it is gonna cook for hours and hours and it's gonna get nice and tender. Next up, I've got some beef broth. I'm using the 50% less sodium type, and I'm using 2 cans. These are 14.5 ounces each. I've got some wine here. Now, you do not have to add wine to this if you don't want. I do get people when I add wine to my recipes asking if they have to. You absolutely do not. I just like the added flavor that a nice wine adds to a recipe like this. I think it pairs really well with the flavors in here. And today I'm gonna be using this Pinot. It's just a red wine, and I'm gonna be using a ½ cup of that. You're gonna need 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, a cup of a fat-free Greek yogurt, plain. For pasta in this today, I'm gonna be using some of this whole grain rotini because I cannot find egg noodles. Egg noodles are kind of the classic stroganoff noodle that you would pair with it, but as I said, I can't find a whole grain around here, so I'm gonna go with rotini, and I'm gonna be using 8 ounces of this, or half of this box. Here I've got a medium red onion that I've chopped up, and then that is 16 ounces of baby portabella mushrooms. You don't need to use that much mushrooms, but we love the mushrooms, so I kind of go a little overboard on those. 8 ounces would probably be fine in this as well, but again, we love our mushrooms. So I've got 16 there. Here I've got some minced garlic. You're gonna need about 3 teaspoons of that, about a teaspoon Dijon mustard, a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm just gonna use these to pepper my meat, and then a tablespoon of olive oil, and finally 2 tablespoons cornstarch. And that is everything that's in this, so let me get it started. First off, in a large pan here, I've got it on medium-high heat, and I'm gonna add in my tablespoon of olive oil. I'm gonna just let that heat up in there, and then I'm gonna add in my steak. Gonna salt it a little bit and pepper it. And then I'm gonna just cook this in here for a couple of minutes just to kind of sear it, get a little bit of brown on it. And if you don't want to do this step, you don't have to. You could just go straight to the crock pot with this, but I think this added step adds a lot of flavor, so I like to do it. Okay, I let that cook in there about 4 or 5 minutes, and I'm gonna call that good. So now I'm gonna take this over to my crock pot. So now over at my crock pot, I'm gonna go ahead and just dump my beef in. My ½ cup red wine, 2 cans of beef broth, 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, three teaspoons minced garlic, a teaspoon Dijon, and my mushrooms and onions. I'm gonna stir all of that together. Set this to low, put the lid on, and let it just go for about probably around 8 hours, I would say. You could do it on high if you want for around 4, but again, I like to just let this kind of cook low and slow all day long. So that is what I'm gonna do. I will be back once this is ready for the next step. And I should say you're basically wanting to cook this until that beef is nice and tender, so however long that takes. But I will be back at that point. It has been about 8 hours, a little over, and this is looking good. I kind of tested one of the pieces of meat and it's nice and tender. So now what I'm gonna do is I've got my 2 tablespoons of cornstarch here measured out. I'm gonna add some water to this, probably another 2 tablespoons, and then I'm gonna stir that up. So I've got my water added in there, and I'm gonna just mix that till that dissolves. And I'm gonna pour this in. And I'm also gonna add in my noodles that I weighed out. Again, that's 8 ounces. I'm gonna stir all of this in. Put the lid back on, set this to high, and let this cook another 15, 20 minutes longer, however it takes to get those noodles softened. But once they are softened, I will be back. I let this cook about 18 minutes or so. My pasta is soft, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove a little bit of the liquid in here and add it to this measuring cup. It's just a half cup is what I've got there. And my camera cut me off, but I just added in my 1 cup Greek yogurt. And now I'm gonna just blend all of this up in here. And this is a step I actually usually forget to do a lot of the times when I'm dealing with hot liquids and you're adding dairy to them. This is a good thing to do because it helps prevent that dairy from curdling when you just add it directly into the soup or stroganoff, whatever. A lot of times that will make it curdle. And so this is just a little extra step to try and prevent that a little bit. So I've got that mixed together. So now I'm gonna take this and add it into my stroganoff. And I should say I've turned the heat off on this. So now I'm gonna just add this in, like I said. And stir that in until this is all nice and combined. Okay, that is looking good. So now I will dish some of this out and show you what a serving size is. Okay, I've got a serving of this dished up, which is about a heaping cup. This makes around 11 cups, so I just factor it in my recipe builder at 10 heaping cups, and the points on this are 7 per serving. But this stuff is just absolutely delicious. I love it, especially like I said, this time of year when it's cold out. It's just perfect comfort food. And I just love stroganoff. It's just one of those, like I said, comfort foods that it's kind of one of my go-tos this time of year. So love this version in the crock pot. I do have one, I think I have at least one other one that I've done on my channel that is Weight Watcher friendly. It is one that I do in the oven. It's like a casserole version. I'll link that up above and down below if you want to check that one out. That one is good too. That's with hamburger. But yeah, this one is probably my favorite, to be honest. It's just more of the kind of closer to the classic, I guess, stroganoff when you think about stroganoff. But anyway, I wanted to share this with you guys because we love it so much. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.